What is up, guys? Welcome to the Verse Crypto Channel, the most savage and enduring crypto channel out there. My name's Khaos Kris, and I'll be your host today. Before we hop this video, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so I keep you guys up to date with the latest, greatest news and information within the space. With that being said, let's hop right in this video. As always, I have another awesome video for all you degenerates today. Today, I got one big question. Is it over for pDAI and Atropa on Pulsechain? There's a lot of news going on. Some people think pDAI is done. Atropa price hasn't been doing well, and I see a lot of FUD going on. And this is going to be a very special live stream because I'm going to go into a different aspect of what's going on with the pDAI movement and Atropa, because everyone's all concerned about we're going to hit a peg, we're going to hit a penny, we're going to hit a dollar. Whatever amount this token is destined to be priced at, that's what everyone's focused on. But there's a bigger picture to pDAI and Atropa and this entire ecosystem, and it goes well far outside of Pulsechain. And right now, I see all the chess pieces moving in place, and we're going to play some 3D chess here on the Verse Crypto channel. So before we jump into this, I want to get into a little bit into the Bitcoin. Let's look at the price of Bitcoin and check out what's going on in the markets. So to start off, we've got interesting downturn on Bitcoin. So basically, the price just dropped because of the Bitcoin ETFs got rejected. Like 5 of them got rejected, and so everybody's like freaking out. They're saying, "Okay, we're not gonna have a Bitcoin ETF." To be honest with you, I don't really think a Bitcoin ETF isn't really important, because if you guys saw what happened to gold the past decade, I firmly believe that the gold ETF and a lot of the issuance through a lot of these corporations actually suppress the price of gold, and I think that might happen with Bitcoin. But we're seeing some weird plays going on between the SEC and this ETF talk. But regardless, looking right now, we're coming right up to this support line that I was drawing originally, and we basically bounced way back down to 25K. So the real question is, what's going to happen to Bitcoin now? We need a couple more days. We need to look at the 4-hourly and determine, okay, is there a chance of it bouncing back up, or will it go back down? In my opinion, if this price doesn't get close to 27,640, there's a good chance we might go down a little bit lower and maybe get down to the 20K mark. Also, there's a good chance that we could possibly see an October surprise, because it is election season. It's that time of the year. Stuff's going to get kind of weird. And definitely don't hedge your bets on us hitting a bottom anytime soon. So definitely keep your eyes open. Now, moving on to crypto bubbles. So basically, a lot of blood in the streets. KuCoin got slaughtered. What else? Near Protocol down a little bit. DYDX, HBAR. A lot of people are picking HBAR. I know if you have a crypto portfolio, this one uses Hashgraph technology, and believe it or not, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have a huge stake in HBAR. And then we have ICP. Big favorite on the BitBoy crypto channel. And then we got some that are running. So Toncoin, that's doing extremely well. I don't know too much about Toncoin, but I know that's doing great. And then MIOTA. This is a very interesting crypto because, believe it or not, they do a lot of work with smart cities, and they do have a contract with the Austin Smart City Council. And I think in this next bull market, we possibly could see the true colors of MIOTA. Now, moving on to the top 200. Whoa, okay. So a lot of blood in the streets. Pepe's down, possible exploit, speculated. Tau is down, interoperable protocol, that Unibot, which I still don't understand. But we got this one called Cyber. All right. I don't know anything about this project. It's on Crypto Bubbles. But this one's absolutely running right now, which is pretty crazy. They probably have some big news, so I'll let you guys figure that out. Keep in mind, I don't know anything about this coin. I just like to go on here and look at coins and wait for people to get into the live stream before we get into the meat and the cheese of the subject. So before I get into the main segment, I want to jump right into pDAI. Let's just see if we can take a look at some questions. All right, Zach, what's up, brother? Shout out to Zach. Go check him out. He has a token called Pulse Reflection. Zach, if you wouldn't mind, drop the link in the chat. It's a really cool project. We're actually going to do a live stream in the future with Zach to talk about his project and his thoughts on pDAI. So shout out to Zach. Crypto Compassion, good to see you. Good to see you in here, brother. Stainski here for the pDAI content. Yes, sir. We're gonna get into it. House, what's up, brother? Dude, I love House, man. Guys, if you guys aren't following House on Twitter, something's up, because this dude is on the edge of everything when it comes to pDAI. He does a lot of look into TSFI and a lot of awesome price charts. And I also believe he does a look into Atropa, and I think he does some stuff with legal. So definitely check him out on Twitter. Beta Wolf, let's go. pDAI to the moon soon. I definitely agree. But we need to talk about what's going on with pDAI right now. But yes, pDAI is definitely a really great project. So really good stuff. And then House or just $2 is fine with me. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where the price of pDAI goes. Some say it's a penny, dollar. I think it's $420.69. So we'll just see. All right. Now, let's get into the main segment of what I really want to talk about. This past week, we saw the price of pDAI go down. And I'm just going to do a little quick screen share. And so basically what happened was we had a nice little uptrend and we broke out. And then some people thought this sucker was just going to go absolutely to the moon. We're going to $1 off of a few weeks or whatever. But then we broke down and we started trending downward for a little bit. And so once we started trending downwards, let me get this right here. Let me get my trend lines right. I am learning, but we'll get right here. So basically, from this top, we started coming down, and then we had a nice little big green candle on the 4-hourly and broke out a little bit more. And then since that green candle, we've been going down sideways for a very large amount of time. And then we recently just broke out and we're going up. So one thing that you can see here with the price of pDAI, it's basically so I'm going to put a line through here. So it's basically every time pDAI breaks out, it's on every Thursday of the week, and it's 7 days apart. And that's when we suspect that there's a liquidity pump going into the Atropa token. So these vertical lines are representing when we start to see the breakout, and it's basically spaced at about every 7 days. Now, what happened here in this time period is that we started trending downwards, and then there was a lot of FUD. I had people call me personally and say, what is going on with pDAI? I had people tweet at me saying, pDAI is over. This is it for pDAI. This is it for Atropa. The experiment's done. We've only known about it for maybe 2 weeks. The project's been out for 2 months, but it's time to push the shiny red eject button, and we're out of here. It's over. It's done. Let me tell you guys, that's not the case. That was the sentiment, and I was just being facetious. I just want to be clear. What we're seeing right now in pDAI is what we've seen the past 2 months with this project, and let me explain. So if I go back here and I just take a look, so we kind of have I call this the pDAI inception right here. In this period of time, Pulsechain launch, and the price of pDAI just fell off of the face of the earth. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the scale right here. I'm going to show you what's been happening ever since we started going down. Now, we had this massive sell-off, and Atropa and pDAI were going on. And then ever since then, we hit a bottom at about, gosh, that's, all right, I'll say 5 zeros, 1957. All right, so 5 zeros and 1. So that's probably like a billionth of a penny. And since then, we've been slowly upticking towards the upside. And the Atropa contract came in, started buying up that pDAI, started burning it, and right around this period of time, we had the MakerDAO contract get updated and change. So the point I'm trying to get across is, if you look at the chart right now, it looks terrible. I agree. We had a massive downturn, absolute massive downturn. But if I come back here and I just zoom in just a little bit, you can see that this has been happening for a very, very long time. Now, why do we have this massive breakout coming right around this period of time where we started going parabolic like a Bitcoin halving? The reason why this happened right here was Hodlonomics, Zach, CoachX, 900 Capital, and then like the pDAI Maxi guys. I'm sorry if I miss all your names. They came out with the pDAI conspiracy theory. So when the pDAI conspiracy theory came out, everybody right here was like, holy cow, pDAI could absolutely be a play. I'm going to get in before I miss the boat on this. And then that's when we started to see this massive, absolute exponential leg up going on into the future. And so if I were to just take a trend line right here and say, we'll just say the run-ups right here, it's probably going to be a little bit more. But since we started this leg up, we got to a top of that's about a 40x. So if you bought right down here, right around when Holonomics was saying like, hey, Pulsechain conspiracy time, is pDAI trying to be a decentralized stablecoin on his Twitter, you would have been up at 40x at this top. Now coming back down, where are we sitting at? We're still up 14x from that bottom. So overall, pDAI did not collapse whatsoever. We're still up. We're still doing what pDAI's been doing. Now, this gets into my next big thing. Since we had this massive pDAI explosion, there's more eyes. There's more people owning this token. Now, if you honestly think pDAI is going to hit a penny in 2 days, you probably need to just go and just get out of this and stop doing the whole pDAI or stop doing the PRC20 degen approach. What the Atropa ecosystem is trying to achieve is going to be slow and gradual out into the future. The reason why we had this exponential growth is now there's a community behind it. It makes sense. But to think that we are going to a penny, a dollar in the near time, it's absolutely asinine. Do I think we're going to hit a penny? Yes. Do I think we're going to hit a dollar? Yes. But it's not going to be within, I would say, the first 2 months. I think a dollar is going to be more plausible as we get closer to the Bitcoin halving in March of 2024. Excuse me, I got my dates all messed up. And the reason why I say that is because right now it's extreme speculation. People are jumping in. People are buying this token. There's buying, there's selling, there's buying and selling. If we went to a dollar right now, you know how many people will sell? Go into B-Root's channel. B-Root said if this thing gets to like 10 cents, I might sell a little bit of it. Or just anybody in general. If this thing were hit a dollar, I guarantee you everybody would start selling. That's why we need to have this gradual incline going up into the future. And that's part of how the Atropa ecosystem has been functioning for 2 months. Now, getting into that next note, when it comes to the realism behind this project, we've seen so much evidence behind what's going on. We've seen a payment to the MakerDAO contract. Zach did a phenomenal video explaining, hey, here's the address of the Atropa token, here's the payment, here's where the payment went, here's when the vote on the contract was updated. We have so much evidence to show that, hey, there is something here, and we don't have much evidence against it, saying like, what is the other solution? Who else is involved with this entire Pulsechain conspiracy theory, which is probably not conspiracy theory anymore? So I want to give you guys my honest take of what's going on, and then we're going to look at some price charts, then I'm going to give you my price prediction. Excuse me, I need a little bit of water. So, basically, the reason why pDAI and Atropa is happening right now, we need to go back and we need to look at Hex. So I'm going to bring up the Hex chart real quick. And so this is going to get into how Richard Heart is going to hit like 100 to 1,000x with Pulsechain. And I'm going to explain, and I'm going to tie back into pDAI. So just stick with me because you understand everything I tell you. And at the end of this live stream, I guarantee if you didn't learn something new, or I didn't put you in a position where you're like, hey, I think Kris said something that made me want to research or think, then I probably failed at this live stream. But trust me, just stick with me here. So the question is, how did Hex hit a 10,000x, and how is that going to correlate to Pulse hitting 100x to 1,000x, and how does pDAI play into this situation? Because in my opinion, I think Richard Heart has his hand in pDAI, whether it's through him directly or a developer that's part of his team, a friend. Some sort of correlation has to exist between Richard Heart and someone else. I can honestly say, you know, maybe a developer would be more realistic. But let's just go back to the inception of Hex. So if I do a screen share right now, and we're going to look at the price chart. We're going to talk about timelines of how Hex performed going on into the future. So basically, since Hex came about way back here, we had the big paydays. And so actually, let's go back. Let's go over to CoinGecko. This price chart does not look good. I know there's a better Hex chart on CoinGecko. So come on, guys. Okay, yeah. So this is what we're looking for. Yeah. So this is what we want right here. All right. So if I come over here and we're just looking at what happened. So basically, if I decrease this chart real quick. Now, when this coin first launched, we were sitting about right here. Nobody knew what was going on with Hex, and they were saying like there's a website. The website looks really sketchy. You can check out my last live stream with Access Alive. Access Alive told me, he's like, I was a day one Hex staker. I got in when the website looked really funky and looked like a 5-year-old did it. And then from there, what they did was a free token claim for all Bitcoin holders. Only 3% of the Bitcoin holders claimed their tokens. So Richard Heart said, okay, here's the deal. If you stake your token, if you stake out into the future, like 3 months, we're going to basically give you guys a massive amount of tokens. I think it's called the big paydays or something like that. So when that happened, we saw a massive pump in the price all the way across. And so the price of Hex went absolutely bananas throughout this period of time. We went up and down, we went up and down, we went up and down. Now, coming to right around here, after the price of Hex pumped up, Richard Heart came back and said, okay, so nothing else is going on in the community. So basically right here, Richard came out and said, hey, we're actually going to fork Ethereum, and we're going to launch this new blockchain called Pulsechain, and we're going to do this through a sacrifice phase. Everything started going ballistic after that. So if I come out a little bit more and I show you the next hump up, this is where we start to see the massive hump up of the sacrifice. People were buying Hex and they're sacrificing their Hex to get into the Pulsechain auction. And then right after that, we had the announcement of the PulseX sacrifice. And the PulseX sacrifice also pushed up Hex until we got to the 54-cent mark. So I believe that was right here. Nope. No. Let me move over. So it's right here. It was 54 cents, but 48 cents on this chart. Now, you guys are looking at me and said, okay, these are all Hex events. What does this have to do with pDAI? Now, the reason why I'm talking about these Hex events, Richard Heart used, this free token claim if you stake out. He used the Pulsechain, the PulseX sacrifice. He used the hype. The reason why Hex hit a 10,000x is based off of news events. This is the reason why we find this to be the best appreciating asset. Crypto speculation, it's the attention. People want to hear good news. People want to speculate. People want to believe that this coin is going to be the next coin to replace the dollar and be the one world currency to rule them all, or like the little shining ring in Lord of the Rings at the Mountain Mordor. Sorry, I'm using a terrible analogy. But the point I'm trying to get across is, in order for Pulsechain and or PulseX or Hex to perform what it did the last market, whether it's anywhere between 100x to 1,000x, and even if you want to say a 10,000x, that's fine. We'll say 10,000x. We need news events. We need things to come out to get people excited. If Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex stays as is, there's a good chance we might not hit 100x. That is why I believe Richard Heart has something in his pocket for the entire Pulsechain ecosystem. Now, I want to go through some things that I'm thinking. So number one, what I think he's probably going to do is he's probably going to do a massive update to PulseX. So I'm going to come over here to PulseX. So if I come over here to PulseX, what he's probably going to do, he might add some bouncer pools. He might add some more liquidity pools with tokens, PRC20 tokens, and he might find ways to make transaction swaps more efficient. Number two, he's probably going to do a soft fork of the entire Pulsechain blockchain, because Ethereum has another upgrade coming that's going to reduce his gas fees by 8x, which means Pulsechain will do the same exact thing to mirror what Ethereum's doing. That's the second one to get people hyped up. And then number three It's going to be the pDAI pegging. Richard Heart or developer or somebody behind this is trying to get some momentum in Pulsechain by trying to bring pDAI up to peg and create the first decentralized stablecoin. It's basically laid out there. It's one of the news events that's going to bring people on to the entire Pulsechain ecosystem space, get people interested, get people excited, and ultimately, if we see pDAI hit a peg, hit a penny, hit whatever price, or maybe just even go up 10x from here, this is the news event we need to be a catalyst to drive up Pulsechain adoption. And it's right there in front of your face. You can see it. You can see the chess moves. Richard Heart's playing 3D chess. Maybe I'm playing 4D because I'm seeing what he's doing right now. And I honestly think this is what's happening. Because if you go and you look at what's going on with, the Atropa ecosystem, if this were a scammer, he probably would have rug pulled at the last top. And also, pretty much he would have probably exited by now. If this was layer 0, they would probably come over here and say, hey, here's our new stable coin. This is the stable coin you guys are going to use. If it was USDC, if it was USDT, if it was any of these centralized stable coins that proclaim to be decentralized, they're not going to use the Pulsechain copy. What they're going to do is they're going to launch their own token copy onto the Pulsechain and then use that and say, we're not using your PRC20 token copy. That is why I firmly believe that there's a high probability, not 100% chance, that this is the first Richard Heart news event to drive in Pulsechain adoption. Now, I'm going to go over some more other adoption events. I already covered 2 of them. And then there's also another play that could possibly be coming to fruition that I want to make a prediction on, but we'll get into that into a minute. So before I get into my next segment of the pDAI adoption, we're going to get into what's going on with stablecoins. I just want to check and see some stuff going on. All right, we got a lot of questions. We got a lot of people in here. So Tree City West, Zen for life. What's up, Tree City West? It's good to see you, my brother. Yeah, I'm the Zen Classic Commander, and Tree City West is the private of the Zen Classic Army, baby. We're going to bring that back to life, but shout out to Tree City West. House, good to see you, man. Damien's in the chat. What is up, my brother? Doing family duty. Still pulling up to show homie support, listening in my ear, but may not be able to contribute much today, except when the missus isn't looking. I got you, homie. Shout out to my boy, Damien. We're going to get that shirt going, Damien. Damien in the chat right across the chest. Let's go. Landscaper, what up? Die on Pulse. Don't miss out. $1. Damien, yeah, pegging normally happens in levels. Example, 4 zeros and a 1 stable rise to 4 zeros and 8 stabilizes 0.01 all the way up. That is very true, Damon. Very good point. Damon, when do you think it's going to hit a dollar? Stan, hey, I so thought we were going to 0.001 today. What's your guess on that? I don't think it's going to go to 0.001. I think it might go down and then maybe go up. But I think what we'll probably see is 0.001 within maybe the next month and a half. I could be wrong. If I'm not saying I have any crystal ball, but the main thing about these levels that we don't understand is there's something pushing it up. A lot of people in the research community, they think that it has something to do with collateral backing through the Lido finance pool and the staked ETH. They think that the wrap pulse is going to be used to swap out for the staked ETH, and the staked ETH is what's going to add value to the pDAI. I've also heard a theory that wrap Bitcoin is going to add value to the pDAI as well through some sort of LP pool. I don't know how true that part is, but what we're trying to see is what pushes it up to the next level, and we're still trying to figure that out. So cool. Damien, okay, I'm pretending I'm cleaning. I love it. My precious Smeagol. Shout out to Vibra Finance CEO. Check him out. That's my brother Adam. We talk about this all day. Really great guy. What up, Zach? Exactly right. This is the chess move we need for Pulsechain. Zach, scammers usually have websites. True. That's a very good point. I like that point, Zach. That's a very good one. House, I concur. Mark, Diamond Hands. That's what's up. Into Ride or Die. Zach, Die Hard. House, Die Hard with Vengeance. And then Into and Zach there. I got a new saying. P God. P gang or die. P die gang or die. P God. That's what we're going to start using our saying. P God. pDAI gang or die. All right, so now, all right, so awesome questions. If you guys got any more questions in the chat, Zach, be sure to drop your project link down below with the Pulse Reflection. I keep forgetting to add it, but let's get into the next thing. Now, why does Richard Heart want this stablecoin? So this is going to be like the gateway opening to the Pulsechain adoption, right? Now, there's a bigger picture going on here, and part of the reason why he's not responding to this whole, pDAI pegging, and I'll tell you why. So I went absolutely deep into stablecoin research to the point where I can list off a massive timeline of events behind stablecoins that's happening right now. And at the end of this, I'm going to tell you what stablecoin is being set up to be the CBDC and why we need a decentralized stablecoin, because the pDAI pegging is bigger than the Pulsechain ecosystem. This is going to go into other blockchains, other ecosystems, and it's going to set the foundation for possibly new decentralized stablecoin protocols into the future. So what you're seeing right now is history and an awesome model, but I'm going on a rant. So the question is, what's going on with other stablecoins in the market? Because obviously pDAI one day will have to compete with BUSD, USDT, USDC, all these other blockchains. What is going on? So to start off, most of you guys probably already seen this, but we need to go over this because this is important for the pDAI pegging. Binance to cease BUSD support in 2024 amid legal turmoil. So Binance's official statement communicates that phasing out of BUSD support will occur gradually, and the transition will be completed by February 2024, coinciding with Pax Trust Company's acquisition of BUSD. Now, basically, long story short, Binance is going to stop supporting BUSD. Paxos is picking it up. And from my understanding, if you come down here, earlier this year, the SEC took legal action against Paxos for issuing BUSD without proper registration, labeling it an unregistered security. This legal confrontation led Paxos to halt the issuance of new BUSD tokens starting from February 21st, casting a cloud of uncertainty over the stablecoin's future. Now, the reason why this is important is because whether or not you support BUSD, that's not the point. And same with Binance and CZ. The point is the SEC is targeting stable coins at Paxos and Binance.us. These companies are getting sued for this issue. And the reason why they're suing them isn't over BNB. It isn't over the exchange. They're suing them over the stable coin. That is the key to understand. Anytime the SEC takes legal action, their number one target is anyone issuing a stable coin. So keep that in mind. Now let's move on to the next thing. So I want you guys to come back. So we have the BUSD example. Now, FTX. This is going to be an interesting one, and I did a little bit of research on this. Crypto exchange FTX is working on creating a stable coin. Now, if you go through here, it talks about how FTX is trying to create a stable coin back in October 27th. A month later, Sam Bankman-Fried got exposed for being a massive Ponzi scam, for setting up the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme with FTX, and was basically using funds to embezzle crypto through the Ukraine war. So it's a huge thing. I'm not going to get too far in it because it gets into politics. But long story short, the reason why Sam Bankman-Fried got targeted was because he created this stable coin. And that's when it got exposed. He had a Ponzi scheme. Do I think Sam Bankman-Fried's company would have been exposed sooner or later? Yes. Am I glad that CZ and Ben Armstrong, BitBoy Crypto, exposed it? Yes. But the point I'm trying to get across is I talked to multiple sources about this. This was the main thing that had a report leaked out to CZ anonymously, that basically the whole thing was a Ponzi scheme, and what happened was Sam Bankman-Fried pissed off the powers that be, and by creating the stablecoin through FTX, and that's what was the major catalyst. Now, moving on. So the next thing I want to go over, actually, yeah. So let's just move it back, and then I'll get into the next part. So why did I use FTX and BUSD as examples? The point I'm trying to get across is anytime a company gets sued for like cryptocurrency, the stablecoin companies are the number one companies being attacked. XRP, and XLM. Those were like big lawsuits, and XRP got attacked because they were doing something similar to the issuance of a CBDC. Then we had the library lawsuit, and now we have the Pulsechain lawsuit, the Cardano lawsuit, yada, yada, yada. At this point, the SEC is trying to get a win with somebody. But the main thing I'm trying to say is USDC and USDT are being set up to be the CBDC. Everyone says there's going to be a CBDC through FedNow payment. That is not true. If you look at the software USDC, if you look at the software USDT, it can be, those coins can be turned off on any single blockchain. They can be tracked. They can be traced. There's keys to access these cryptocurrencies, and they basically have the infrastructure and the foundation to create a trackable, controllable CBDC. If you own USDC, if you own USDT, and it's not a Pulsechain PRC20 copy, or if it's on ETH proof of work or whatever, though, you basically own a CBDC and you don't even know it. That is going to be the next CBDC, and I'll tell you why. Now, when I come over here, we have a article that talks about a lawsuit where basically, actually not a lawsuit, but the House Financial Service Committees actually brought over the head of Circle, who created the USDC coin. And basically they went through a huge testimony. They talked about what USDC is and how this stable coin is going to be implemented going on to the future. And they were educating lawmakers of what a cryptocurrency stable coin is. Now, I want to get down to the bottom of this because this is where things get very, very interesting and kind of spark the creative juices coming in here. So right here, it says, deciding how U.S. dollar stablecoins should be regulated is a major question that only Congress, not the federal agencies, can address. As for regulators who would enforce new stablecoin rules, Stravinsky advocates for the Federal Reserve and the Office of Controller of Currency, outlining why neither the SEC nor Commodity Futures Trade Mission is a good fit. And so if we come up here, and then the last thing, Stravinsky is diplomatic when it comes to what are known as algorithmic stablecoins, which are sometimes partly backed by other assets, but are typically under collateralized. Stravinsky says it is uncertain whether algo stablecoins might ever be viable. If one quibble with the testimony is this, the truth is that algo stablecoins are almost certainly the financial equivalent of the perpetual motion machine scam. While I wouldn't personally advocate for making them outright illegal, I certainly wouldn't raise a big stink. Now, basically what he's saying is this is him appealing to the regulators. This is like a show. They're saying that, hey, we have this stable coin. It's going to be, it can be used as a CBDC. The algorithmic stablecoins are terrible. Use our stablecoin. We're backed by the banks. We're backed by the people who created the last financial crisis. We're the people that we are the stablecoin company that wants to run this. That's basically what it is. They're educating the lawmakers, and the lawmakers are possibly going to bring the USDC and the USDT into adoption. And if you look at that little section, he was saying he was going after algorithmic stablecoins. In my opinion, not every algorithmic stablecoin is the best, but MakerDAO is the best. They're targeting MakerDAO. Something happened to the owner. Now that we have the MakerDAO contract on the Pulsechain, if we can bring this up to peg, create an ecosystem that's decentralized, it can exist outside of the CBD system with USDC and USDT. This means that if you're on the Pulsechain, you own a stablecoin. We'll just say it's pegged to $1, and we can argue about the price later. If you own pDAI, which is pegged to $1, you can still maintain your monetary financial position without having to own USDC and USDT. Because mark my words, I want somebody to clip this video right now. There's going to come a time where Circle will announce they are going to turn off all the stablecoins on the Pulsechain ecosystem because of Richard Heart having a sketchy past, which is not true, and also because the Pulsechain blockchain is ruled as a scam blockchain. I don't think the Pulsechain blockchain is a scam, but I think this is going to be a targeted attack on the entire Pulsechain ecosystem, and one day this is going to happen. And the stable coins that you go through the Pulsechain bridge automatically go to zero. You can't use them whatsoever. That's it. It's over. Yada yada. And pDAI is going to be there to save the Pulsechain blockchain system from this dystopic future. That is my prediction. I don't have a crystal ball. This is what I'm thinking, because when it comes to cryptocurrency, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum are really cool coins. Don't get me wrong. But the main thing that the banks, the corporations, the big people are going for, they're going for that stable coin, because they understand that's going to be the CBDC. That's going to be used for transactions. And Ethereum, Pulsechain, and Bitcoin, they're going to go up and down, up and down. So not many people are going to want to use to buy and sell that, but they're going to use that stable coin to buy and sell. And that's what's extremely important. And so the stable coins are going to be supported by digital crypto assets so that we can avoid inflation issues going on to the future. Now, the one other big thing I want to point out, Layer 0. So Layer 0 is creating a USDC and a USDT bridge where you can bridge USDC, USDT from any of the 30 blockchains. If you go through and you look at Layer 0's partnership, they're really partner with Phantom. Phantom's using Layer 0 to save their blockchain, basically. They're also getting to wrap Ethereum, wrap Bitcoin, which we're not going to talk about right now. But ultimately, they have a partnership with every single major blockchain you can think of, from Telos to Celo to ZK Sync to Optimism. But the one blockchain they have yet to announce that they're adding interoperable technology and cross exchange swaps to is the Pulsechain, which is crazy, which blows my mind, because the Pulsechain community is so big, and the fact that they're not targeting this community because they could make an absolute awesome profit offering this technology on the Pulsechain makes me think one thing. Layer 0 is specifically excluding Pulsechain so that it can suffer during this bear market. So based off of all this stuff I'm telling you guys, we have Layer 0, we have BUSD, we had the stuff happen with FTX and their stablecoins. Pulsechain needs a stablecoin. USDC, USDT, all these other stablecoin providers, they're not going to launch on Pulsechain, and they're the biggest ones. And in order for Pulsechain to plug into Layer 0, you're going to need that USDC coin native to the Pulsechain network so that you can facilitate that cross-chain swap. Otherwise, it's a game over. In addition, OKC delisted Pulsechain so that now we can't do interoperable swaps through any exchange. Power City can't do them. I can't remember the other blockchains, but ultimately the only way to get to and from the Pulsechain is through the privacy bridge on Blockbin, and also the Ethereum to Pulsechain bridge as well. So things are looking a little bit dystopic, but the main point I'm trying to get across is, if you don't believe this is Richard Heart, if you do believe this is like some other runaway scammer, if you believe this is some developer, it is what it is. But the thing I need to ask you, how is Pulsechain going to hit 100x? How's it going to hit 1,000x? How's it going to hit a 10,000x? It's going to hit these price targets, or these X targets, based off of news events. Pulsechain needs a stable coin. They're not going to bring one here. We need our own. A stable coin is going to push up the price of Pulsechain. It's going to push up the price of PulseX. It's going to push up the price of Hex. It's going to push the price up of the incentive token. On top of that, Pulsechain is going to have a major upgrade. PulseX is going to get upgraded to have more liquidity pools, balancer pools, these partial liquidity pools where you can have like 3 tokens into 1 LP. Another thing that can be added to the Pulsechain, an Oracle. And then the next big thing, the Richard Heart wallet. There's a good chance that Richard Heart is going to add a wallet that he creates, maybe with a coin similar to internet money. And some people speculate incentive token can be used to burn for this token, or used to sacrifice, so that Pulsechain has its own native wallet made by the man, the myth, the legend, the Richard Heart. All these are events that could drive up the price of Pulsechain. And I guarantee you, mark this clip, when we start to see us get closer to the Bitcoin halving, you're going to see a series of events come out about pDAI, about a wallet, about PulseX, Pulsechain. It's going to cause a lot of stir in cryptocurrency communities, and it's going to cause a massive price appreciation, which means I firmly believe that there is a good chance that we could possibly see a 1,000 to 5,000x on the Pulsechain token if all these events that I talk about come to fruition. If we just say we don't do anything, then I don't know how Pulsechain is going to appreciate. We got a big community. We got a lot of people interested. We got these hex maxis talking about why you should stake your hex and get as many t-shirts as possible. These aren't valuable things. We need to be talking about utility. We need to talk about innovation. We need to talk about how can we get people excited. And the one thing that gets me excited, and probably what gets majority of you guys on this live stream excited, is the pDAI theory and the value it's going to add. Because I just showed you guys what this future could look like. We can have a future where this possible CBDC USDC coin is in all of our wallets and doesn't matter what we do because they can track and trace us. Or we can have a future where we have pDAI, a decentralized stablecoin, an independent community that is for and by the people to build a better tomorrow. And so my big takeaway is I hope you guys use this information, and I hope you understand that pDAI isn't going to go up to a penny tomorrow. It might go up to a penny in 3 to 4 months, but there needs to be a gradual increase so that the system doesn't break, because this is so important. You guys don't understand. We need something like this. It needs to be gradual. It needs to be basically brought in and accepted by the entire community, because if this works out, you will probably see the greatest thing to ever happen in cryptocurrency history. Let's go, baby. Man, I'm so excited. All right, let's get into some comments and stuff, and then I'll get into the next section of the video. So let's see what's up. All right. Cody Cameron, pDAI is pumping now. Mark Gregory, hats off to you for the detailed research. Really impressive. House, yeah. Did anyone catch that pDAI shot just now? pDAI Atropa gang. Did it really just shoot up? Yo, that's absolutely crazy. Let's look at this right now. Let's look at this right now. Yeah, you guys are getting me all excited and stuff. Wait, is that pDAI? Huh? Am I tripping or something? I don't know. It's not here. Let me refresh. Maybe I just didn't refresh it. Huh? I guess it did. Show up. All right. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. But cool. All right. Let's get to the rest of the questions. I know you guys got questions. All right. So pDAI Atropa gang. What did I miss? Replay gang. Awesome. Hey, shout out to you, Torn. Great to see you. Metal Jacket. Kris is the best crypto streamer for learning and breaking things down. pDAI. Hey, shout out to you, Metal Jacket. It's really awesome to have you on the live stream, dude. Damien, what's up, brother? So that's why when Jack's X1 come out, find the stablecoin play and get into it. Although he did say he didn't like stablecoins. Look out for the equivalent on X1 unless it's in. All right, Damien. So here's the deal. For the X1 blockchain, Jack is actually working with layer 0 to make it interoperable with the other protocols. So I think USDC is going to launch on X1 because they're doing a partnership with layer 0. And in order for that partnership to be facilitated, layer 0 would have to get circled to launch onto the X1 blockchain. As to how they launch onto the X1 blockchain, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know if they're going to do like a Zen burn for it, but if they do, that'll be actually pretty cool. But my guess is they just launch it on there and say, hey, here's USDC on X1. You guys can use it. And then here's the cross-chain bridges going on. So cool. Torin, Jeremy, hey, brother, loving the alpha. Yeah, shout out to you, Jeremy. Thanks for coming on. Cool. Landscaper, if DAI pegs, we all win today. Awesome. Zach, let's go. Killing it today. Thanks, brother. Love it. Torn, here. Sam, I use SafeTrade to get Pulse. I've had no issues since they listed PLS. Plenty of liquidity. Okay. I don't know if that's a valid site, but I'll look into it. Just anybody who gets into it, I haven't looked into it, so please proceed carefully. Mark Gregory, could pDAI stabilize at 1 cent, 10 cent as stable, or will it need to be $1 long term? All right, so Mark, realistically, pDAI can stay at the same price right now and maintain its price, and that can be by definition a stablecoin. But if it were to hit theoretically a penny, 10 cents, or $1, the the higher it goes up, the more volatility we see. When this thing gets up to a penny, people are going to sell. There's people that own like $30 million pDAI. If they see a penny, they're going to hit that red button and sell a little bit of it. It's going to be the same thing with 10 cents, and it's going to be worse at $1. I predict at $1, you're going to see the price of this token go like down to like 70 cents and then up to like $1.30. So it's going to go up and down, up and down. And then over time, if dollar is the peg, it's going to widen down because the people who took profits out of it are going to slowly get the value out of what they have for the pDAI, and then we'll see it stabilize. So that's how I see it going into the future. Yes, I did. Jeremy Wells, bro, look at Teddy Bear. Okay. We shall look at Teddy Bear. Okay, let's look at Teddy Bear real quick. Here, let me do a screen share. Hopefully this is right. Holy cow, what is going on? Sheesh. All right, let's take a look at Teddy Bear right now. Holy smokes, dude. This thing just went up 80%. That's absolutely crazy. Teddy Bear's exploding. Atropa's exploding, down exploding. Okay, here. I'll get into some price predictions when we get in the next one. I just want to get through all the questions. So here. Let me do back to primary real quick. All right. So let's see what else we got. Oh, thanks, Kris, for that layer 0 Zen breakdown. Anytime, Damien. Red Squirrel, shout out to you. Damien, you're always the homie. Zach, shout out to Zach for the awesome space. Passive income projects, pDAI pumping. Absolutely. All right, John Seltzer. What is the mechanism? Jeez, I can't talk right now. I'm really terrible in English. That will get pDAI to stability, so it will be considered a stable coin. So the big thing that's going to get us to stability is going to be the collateral. When you trade your pDAI token, is there a cryptocurrency token that you can get in exchange for the amount value of pDAI that you're swapping out from? So for example, DAI on the Ethereum blockchain, you can swap out your DAI theoretically for Ethereum. And also keep in mind, DAI is a coin that is based off a debt. So you can actually burn your DAI for the Ethereum token. That's basically how it's collateral. Now on the Pulsechain, it's a little bit different. And I'll tell you why, because the MakerDAO contract is now in the Lido DAO. And so I'm not sure if that's still the same case. I don't know how that's going to work. If I would have to guess, and keep in mind, we got to wait for 9 Iron Capital, absolute stud with the research, and the other boys that I miss. If they need to come out and give us more clarity on the collateral, but how I see it is basically there's a good chance that maybe the DAI can be redeemed for staked ETH through the Lido DAO, and that might be what we need. I'm not really sure, but that's me speculate. But like I said, we need to have some sort of backing behind the DAI token before we can get to the next level. And that's where I think the staked ETH comes into play. And I think the staked ETH is what's going to push us up to the next level. So awesome. Kramer White, how many people own pDAI from the fork Ethereum? Mini could dump. All right. So Kramer, here's the big thing. When we got the Pulsechain fork, none of the centralized exchanges received any of the PRC20 token copies. It was mostly just whales and whatnot. Now, after the Ethereum fork, the sacrifice wallet address had a massive amount of DAI, and Richard Heart in general owns anywhere between, I think it's like 10 to 15% of the DAI tokens in circulation across across the Ethereum blockchain. So in my opinion, there's probably a lot of people, but how I see this playing out is if we bring DAI to peg at $1, all those people on Ethereum that own DAI or own massive bags of DAI are going to come over to the Pulsechain. They're going to see they own the same amount of money, and this is going to be a massive onboarding mechanism for anybody to come onto the Pulsechain. So it's like a double-edged spear, but also keep in mind, people are going to sell. So it's going to be interesting to see how we perform at the penny mark, because pay special attention to when we're at 1 penny for pDAI, because the price of that's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. And when we hit that 10-cent mark, it's going to be even more. And then $1 is going to be astronomical. So I predict that these fluctuations from like $1.30 to like 70 cents is going to decrease over time, so that it's very minute and it goes up like 97, 99, $1.01, yada, yada, yada. So that's how I see it coming out. So awesome. All right, now let's take a look at prices. I think all you guys are fascinated by prices, and me too, because everyone's saying that everything's pumping. So we'll take a look. All right, so let's take a look at DAI real quick. So DAI, let's just take a look at the 1 hourly. Wow, holy cow. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of a pump up, 0.008. In my opinion, if we hit I would say the 0.001 mark, that's going to be a major psychological measure. So let's take a look at what that's at right here. So 0.100000 right here. So if it gets up 17%, we might go test the all-time high at about was it about 2.002194. And so we get back to the next all-time high. That's 100, and that's a 1.5x. So if you guys took advantage of this dip, or if you want to get in right now, not financial advice, you could possibly hit a 1.5x if it happens to do what we think it will. Or it could get up to its original all-time high. I mean, the last all-time high, or local all-time high, at 80%. So cool. Now let's take a look at Atropa. So dang, Atropa is going up as well, man. Usually like when this starts to explode, it's going to go up. So the one thing I want to say about Atropa is that when this thing hits about 10 cents, that's when we're going to see pDAI at a penny. And so in my opinion, Atropa is always going to be at a 10 interval, or a 10x above the pDAI price. So in the future, I possibly think Atropa could possibly, if pDAI hits $1, Atropa could possibly be worth 10 cents. That is what I'm seeing right now. I could be wrong, but it's going to be right around, I mean, not 10 cents, $10. It's going to be right around there, and it seems like the Atropa is going to be like the bond. The Atropa is what we're going to use to remove and add DAI from that Atropa DAI pair. I know it's in a burn wallet address, but I honestly think this is how it's going to be. It's going to be like the main regulation behind how much DAI is in circulation. That's how I see it going on to the future. So definitely really good prediction. Now, the other token that's pumping down, OWN D. This is another very interesting one. It seems like down is following another. It's a zero behind Atropa. So I think down is actually pretty close. No, it's actually half the price of DAI so far. So I mean, all these really move really good together. So I mean, I bought a little bit of everything. I'm just being honest with you, because I'm not sure how this is going to happen. But it seems like the down token absorbs all that volume pressure. So I do firmly believe if we see pDAI at $1, this could very well hit 50 cents if it comes to fruition and if this prediction comes out. And then the other one, we just covered Bear. Okay, cool. Now, I got another prediction that I want to talk about, man. This live stream's going pretty long. But so one thing I also want to talk about, news events, right? That's the biggest thing that I hope you guys got from my live stream. News events is what's going to drive the Pulsechain and the PulseX price up. Now, I don't think pDAI is going to be the last token to be pegged to its ERC20 counterpart. I think there's going to be other tokens in this ecosystem to go through the same process. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Wrap Bitcoin. And so if we come over here to Wrap Bitcoin, you can check it out here on Etherscan. It seems like there's about 2 million, and then I'm gonna come here to the Explorer. I think if I recall, the amount of tokens. Hold on, let's see. I need to see the amount of Wrap Bitcoin. I thought it was like 300,000 or something, but yeah, so the amount of Wrap Bitcoin, no, that's not it. Is that it? I'm trying to look at the wrapped Bitcoin total. Okay, so there's 154,410 wrapped Bitcoin. Now, I've been hearing some rumors that the wrapped Bitcoin, I think it was like wrap BTC, so I think it was Bear and like wrap BTC. There's like a liquidity pool between these two token pairs. I'm not really sure. But in my opinion, I think there's going to come a time where wrapped Bitcoin could possibly hit parity with the wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum. And I also think this is going to be the case for wrapped Ethereum on Pulsechain. So let me make sure I can find it here. It's like wrapped Ethereum and wrapped Pulse. Where are you? Wrapped Ethereum, wrapped Ether. So this is also another case with this token as well. And there's a correlation between wrapped Ethereum and also adding, what's it called? Collateral to pDAI as well. So let me double check to make sure this pair token, and I'm going to get into my full analysis of why I think this is going to happen. So if I come over here, there's about 6.5 billion wrapped ETH. So this one might be a little bit hard. So in my opinion, I think this is going to start with the DAI token. And then I think the next big token is going to be the wrapped Bitcoin. Now, as most of you guys know, Bitcoin is going to always be a major value token, and there's always going to be a demand behind it. If there comes a time where the Pulsechain gets attacked, there's issues with the bridge or something, we need a way to maintain our value in blue chip assets. That's why I think wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Ethereum, and also like the Doge token on the Pulsechain that we saw is being set up so that it can follow the same price of its counterpart on other blockchains, because I know people are always going to want to swap in and out from a wrapped Ethereum, and also this is going to set up so that Pulsechain can be totally independent of wrapped Ethereum, and there's a product that wants to utilize the wrapped Ethereum price or the mechanics behind it, they can have the PRC20 token copy serve in its position. And so if you look at the token supply, wrapped Ethereum on Pulsechain is 6.5 billion, and then wrapped Bitcoin is 326,000. It does not take that much economic energy to push up the price of wrapped Bitcoin through the same mechanics through the Atropa ecosystem. There's a good chance that we could possibly see even wrapped Bitcoin on Pulsechain supersede the price of Bitcoin on other blockchains, because keep in mind, Bitcoin's at 19 million tokens. This wrapped Bitcoin is at 300,000. That's like, what's that, like 1% of the entire supply on the Pulsechain? So in my opinion, wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Ethereum, and a whole plethora of other tokens could potentially hit parity to add to this news cycle event. Because what Richard Heart is trying to do is he's not only trying to create a really great blockchain, he's trying to be the best in crypto. And this is one of the plays where he could be the best. So let's take a look at the chat, see what's crack-a-lacking. 10K DAI holders, I believe. True, crushing it. Shout out to Viber Finance, all that good stuff. All right, cool. All right, so we're sitting at about an hour. For this next section, I get a lot of questions about, altcoins and stuff. So I want to spend a very small amount of time, and though I'll let you guys get out. I know it's the weekend, you guys got stuff going on, but I'm gonna talk about some altcoins that I'm looking at. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but some of these I will dive into a huge amount of detail going on to the future. But these are really important protocols that you need to keep your eye on. Keep in mind, I'm not involved with any of these protocols anyway. I'm just here just telling you guys stuff that I'm looking at. So the first one I want to talk about is Internet Money. I think most of you guys heard about this project. They have a token where you can earn a dividend, and basically the transactions through the wallets go to the token holders. Now, one really interesting thing that recently just came up, I don't know why this is here right now. Let me go back. Let's see if we go back. All right. So basically what recently happened was MetaMask is right now going to require KYC if you own the MetaMask wallet. And all right, I guess they want to block the website, but you can see the title. I'm not a title reader, but I read the article, and then they brought this stuff up. But ultimately, the main point I'm trying to get across is Internet Money is going to be possibly a really great play on the Pulsechain, because we're starting to see MetaMask require KYC. We're starting to see the Binance Smart Chain wallet possibly doing the same thing. Richard Hart's going to launch his wallet, but it's probably not going to be anytime soon because he's waiting for the bull market. And so because all this is happening, in my opinion, I definitely see the Time token as a sleeping nuclear missile ready to explode when we get the news of the MetaMask KYC. Because number one, people are going to start downloading the Internet Money Wallet. Number two, people are going to buy the token because if there's more users, more dividend payouts. And number three, the token is deflationary and adds utility to other PRC20 tokens in the protocol. They also preloaded the pDAI token on their wallet. So, I mean, you know, KG, he supports the pDAI community. Shout out to KG, really great guy. So, coming here, since the launch, we had a nice little top, I think at 2x. And so, in my opinion, based off of the liquidity being at 62K, I could very well see this token hit $100 million market cap if MetaMask hits us with the KYC, which means if it goes up by 100 million, that's an easy 50x in my opinion. On top of that, people are going to be there for the dividend payments, and it's also going to be a great outlet. So in my opinion, the Internet Money Wallet is a sleeping giant ready to explode. Now, this next protocol, it doesn't have a token yet, but they're planning on doing it. But this is a really important one because if you're swapping in between pDAI, Atropa, and all these tokens, you're going to want to know about this protocol. The name of this protocol is pDAI. pDAI. I don't know if I said it right, but whatever. You guys, pDAI, whatever. So basically what pDAI is, it's basically an app that connects you to a DEX and it gives you the best available price to facilitate transaction. Let's say you want to swap from Wrap Pulse to pDAI. On PulseX, you might have to hit it with a 3% slippage. On Fux.io, you might have to hit it with a 1% slippage. So basically, it goes to all these decentralized exchanges and says, hey, what's the best price for me to execute this swap without having to deal with slippage? And it's going to be this exchange. So you can come over here to the launch app, open up your wallet, go through and do the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to do it because I don't want this live stream to be long. But you come over here, it talks about how it's a DEX aggregator. It talks about the protocols it interfaces with. It's been doing work with PulseX. It's going to be doing work with Famous, 9inch, Pulsechain, and also all these other blockchains. And so right now they're actually coming up with a token utility, which we're going to get a little bit more into the future. It's a really, really cool approach and something I want you guys to educate yourself because I'm going to do an exclusive live stream covering this project. Now, the next project I want to talk about, if you're a degen, if you like to make passive income, if you're all about, you know, the high risk plays, you need to know about Easy Swap. Easy Swap is one of those decentralized exchanges that plugs into pDAI. And they recently just launched, and if you come over here to the launch app, they have a really cool yield farm where you can use your token pairs between USDC, ETH and Pulse, Hex and Pulse, and you can also set up a Wrap Bitcoin and Easy pair right here on the Easy farm. And so essentially what you can do is come in here, yield farm, and they have two main tokens. They have the SwapX and the Swap token. And so basically the SwapX token is the government's token. You'll earn fees from the protocol, and the Swap token is the main token that's using for liquidity pairs. So it's really, really cool. And the one big thing that they are doing, and they're planning on rolling out down into the future, is they want to do something called concentrated liquidity pools, where you can have different percentages of liquidity into a liquidity pair, and you can set it based off of the dollar amount so that you don't have to suffer from impermanent loss going down the road. So definitely a really cool project, a really cool protocol. Now, coming over here, the price of this token basically hit the floor because of the farming protocols and the inflation. So, you know, since the top, I believe that's like was that a 90% or something? Yeah, 99%. Now, what they're starting to do is they're going to start doing buyback and burns, and we're going to start to see more utility added to this project ecosystem. So, in my opinion, the best time to get into projects like this are down here, not up here. And so, what I really like about this when it comes to strategy is you can get into, if you own Hex and Pulse, if you own ETH and Pulse, if you own any of these blue chip assets, there's nothing wrong with diving into this and utilizing this exchange. You don't have to buy the easy token, but you definitely want to take advantage of making possible passive income if you own these coins already and you're bullish on them. So this is why I like this project, because I can earn passive income. And then the last one is the PHUX exchange. This is going to be the last protocol I will cover. I'm not a big fan of the owner or the face of the project, but regardless, he did create a great project, and I'll give that to him. And, you know, I definitely want to make sure that I cover this, because balancer pools are a really great way for you to get involved in cryptocurrency and also make an awesome investment. Let me see if I can. I want to see if this will pull up. If this doesn't pull up, I'm just going to move on. But ultimately, what Flux is you can set up a balancer pool where it can be like 10% Pulse, 10% internet money, 10% a bunch of other things. All right, let's see. Let's see if it will set up my wallet, and this will get it to calm down. But the main thing I want to show you guys is that there's some really cool tokens on this exchange, and this is through my degen wallet. Hold on. All right, I guess it's not working. Okay. Well, but ultimately, all right, so the bouncer pools aren't showing up. I don't know why this website's working. I guess it's broken or something. But ultimately, what you can do is you can set up partial liquidity pools. So you can put like part pDAI, part Atropa, part Pulse, and you can earn this PHUX token. And essentially, the PHUX token has been doing really well going on to the future. And I firmly believe these bouncer pools can be very similar to Roth IRAs and investment funds if you're big into, you know, the Pulsechain ecosystem. So definitely really cool, guys. I'm gonna take one more round of questions. I'm gonna wrap this up because I think we covered a lot of really cool stuff here. So, what are your thoughts on that Rabby wallet? I'm not really sure. I think, isn't that Rabby wallet? I remember seeing somebody putting out there. So I don't know anything about it, but let me research it and I'll get back to you. So make sure you ask me on the next live stream. Crypto down under, pDAI or die, house, but it doesn't have an icon yet. I'm not really sure what that means, but okay. So an icon yet, but really cool stuff. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it for this live stream. I just want to say, you know, really great one. Thank you for all the support. Shout out to the pDAI community. Those were projects I'm looking at. And, you know, just keep in mind, you know, please, when it comes to getting to pDAI and the Atropa ecosystem and everything that is going on in the future, do not be emotional. Keep yourself rational. Don't make impulsive decisions, and just stay calm. Because something like this is going to take like a year to build out. I showed you what the future we're trying to build. I show you what could happen, and I'm showing you what a lot of these really, really big centralized crypto companies are doing. Don't fall for their game. Stay patient, stay relaxed, be flexible, and be open to new information. There's going to be something new behind the pDAI narrative, and you want to make sure you keep your mind open and flexible in case you need to change your strategy. But overall, guys, you know me. This is the Verse Crypto channel. I cover the stuff that nobody wants to talk about. I speak my mind. I talk about pDAI. I talk about whatever project I want. I'll never sell out. I'll never sit back and hold back my thoughts just to appeal to an audience. I sit here because I talk about my research. I sit here because I love educating you guys. I love talking about different really cool cryptocurrency projects. This is the place where we talk about projects that no one else is talking about. We talk about protocols. We get into the nuts and the bolts. I want the Verse to be like a really great alternative media website that's going to be different from BitBoy Crypto and your friend Sami. I want this to be the place that's going to be formed by the people and to cover whatever project you want and facilitate awesome debates. So, like I said, guys, thank you so much for an awesome live stream. You guys are phenomenal. Shout out to the pDAI community. You guys are awesome. We're going to have a couple live streams next week. I'm setting up one with Holonomics, and I'm going to do one with our boy Zach. So definitely stay tuned for that one, because those things are going to be absolutely fire. And before I wrap this video up, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so I keep you guys up to date with the latest, greatest news and information in this space. My name's Khaos Kris. I love every single one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
you.